Hey y'all, welcome back to Cajun Country Clunkers. I'm Jim.
And I'm Lydia, and we are fixing the South one clunker at a time.
Today we're tackling old Barefoot once again. We're going to try to get this unit in a running state of some sort. We don't know what that's going to be, but hopefully by the end of this video, us and y'all is going to watch this thing start up for the first time in many, many years.
Plus, I'm going to be doing some major changes to this interior, so y'all come along with us. We got a lot of work to do today.
Last week, we took a deep dive into this engine. And what we learned is it wasn't 100% froze up, but it was well on its way. We could get it about 3/4 of a turn and it would start hitting a hard spot. So in an effort not to damage anything, bend rods, do all those kind of things, we pulled the valve covers off. We found some froze valves. We got those unstuck. And we noticed that we kept having problems with them. So we took all the rocker arms off. We took the push rods out. We cleaned them up. Some of them were stopped up. We pulled all the spark plugs out. We put penetrating oil in all of the spark plug holes and we worked it back and forth and back and forth. And we never could quite get past that little firm spot until we got all of these valves unstuck. And I think there was a little bitty spot in one of the cylinders that had a little bit of flash rust that we couldn't quite get through. So after we got everything well lubricated and got it to move the best we could, we stuck a battery on it, hope for the best, and it just smoothed right through it. So it just wasn't quite enough for us with the ratchet. And after we got the engine rotating freely and doing what it's supposed to be doing, it was time to put all the valve train assembly back in. So it was clean, lubricated, we put it all back together. We set the valve lash back on each and every cylinder, then double checked it all again, and hooked the battery back up, rotated everything. Every valve's working like it's supposed to. Motor sounds nice and smooth, not a lot of galloping. So we've got big hopes. But the one thing that we could not get was the spark. We couldn't get any spark to see if this engine was going to be able to make any kind of noises, spit and sputter. Y'all know the drill. But that's what we're going to be kicking on today, is trying to get this thing sparked up so we can take it to the next step.
Now, I know that Jim just explained a lot of stuff that we did last week. And y'all, we've actually been doing YouTube for over 4 years now. This is actually our second channel. We have a homesteading style of channel, and I have never lost footage before. But unfortunately, last week, I had an issue with my Mac. I don't know exactly what happened, but I have spent days on the phone. We've spent hundreds of dollars trying to recover that footage, but unfortunately, it is just gone. So unfortunately, we lost that whole video from last week, but today we're just gonna be picking right back up, so y'all bear with us. We're sorry if we missed anything, but luckily we have lots of clunkers in the future. So if there's anything that Jim specifically said that y'all would like to see in any of our future videos, let me know and I'll make sure that it gets in there. Try to make up for it. All right, y'all. Well, we've been tearing into this truck all week, and out here the shop power is non-existent, actually. That's why we've been running everything off of this one unit right here, the Jackery HomePower 3600 Plus. This thing is a 3600 watt beast, y'all, built to handle serious jobs like any of these jobs that we've been taking on this week. I'm talking power tools, grinders, chargers, lights, pretty much everything that we need to keep the clunkers rolling. Jim's got this grinder plugged straight in, smooth power, no lag, no flicker. It's got seamless UPS switching under 10 milliseconds, so even the computer and diagnostic stuff keeps running if the power drops. And we even use it to charge the car battery without having to drag out any extension cords. So just plug it in and roll. It's got 9 ports total, AC, DC, USB-C, you name it, it's got it. And you can run your tools like I was saying. You can even charge your phone, a router, even your whole RV if you need to. And whenever the sun's out, you can actually hook this Jackery right up to the Jackery solar panel Saga, charges within just 4 hours of solar or 2.5 hours from the wall. Now we're never waiting a long time to have to get back to work. These panels are waterproof, wind resistant, and tough enough for Louisiana weather. Now this thing isn't just for shops. It can actually be used as a full home backup power system, enough power to keep your essentials running through storms and outages. And it expands up to 21 kilowatt hours, so you could actually build your own backup set piece by piece. So whether you're working on a clunker or riding out a storm, the Jackery HomePower 3600 Plus has you covered. Big power and quiet as a gator in the swamp. Head to the link in the description below to find out some more information.
Now, in our efforts to try to get this old truck to start making some spark, we took the rotor button off, sanded it, cleaned up the old distributor cap, found some old scrap plug wires and threw on there just enough to try to see if we could get some spark. Now, we were unsuccessful in doing that, but we tested the coil, we're getting fire, everything looks good as far as that goes, but these old trucks did have an ignition control module, which is mounted right here on the firewall. These are kind of known to go bad, and if you'll look, there's all kinds of dielectric jelly leaking out down here on the fender well, so it kind of gives me an indication like, yeah, that might be an issue. So we did get another one to replace this. We're going to replace this. We have a set of spark plug wires, new rotor button, new rotor cap, all the bells and whistles. So it should not have any excuse not to spark. I sure hope that this thing just got melted out for natural causes and not because it got hot and we have a bad short somewhere that we got to deal with. That would be very inconvenient because looking at these wires, there's a better than average chance that something like that happened. Oh, Lord. Wiring. Vehicle wiring. Sometimes it just amazes me at the things you find. I never knew there was so many uses for speaker wire. Found phone wire, all kinds of stuff. Like I found on something we were working on, there was a phone wire. You know, they have like 8 strands, whatever it is, little tiny wires. They had them all skint and bent together, like to make one bigger wire. That's wild. I guess whatever works, you know.
I might have to interpret that one. He's saying phone, not foam.
Well, the people that know. Phone. Like E.T. Phone. Phone. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Check this out.
It looks like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
I bet it don't taste like one. But that might be part of a problem. Look at all the little, I don't know, whatever that is. Some things you just don't know. Some things is just better left not knowing. You know what I mean? It works, didn't work. Hopefully the new one works. That'd be a solid change. Well, there's a lot of corrosion on there, but I don't really see where anything got hot, like it had enough current in it to melt anything. So that looks good. That's promising. We'll clean them up. Maybe put a little dielectric grease or something in there to keep them from sticking again and hope for the best.
So the one on the left, you know what, I don't even need to explain what I was fixing to say. Just showing y'all exactly what it's supposed to look like versus whatever situation we got going on here. Or PB&J.
Well, that's a pretty good indication that we might be on to the right thing that's keeping it from sparking.
On to the calls.
As y'all can tell, I've already done some cleaning up in here. I got the seat took out, and while we were working in here, we remembered, oh yeah, we don't have a key. So we did switch this ignition switch out. I believe that's what it's called. Ignition switch, right? Cameraman?
Well, that would be it. Well, it actually had the ignition switch. Just the key part of that ignition switch was, yeah, we couldn't use it because there was no key.
So we did switch that out. So now whenever we go to try to turn this over to see if that box is what the problem was, we can actually use the key instead of some jankiness going on that's with the pliers and all that business.
Well, now we got the little magic box swapped out. One way to see if that was the problem or not. I'm hoping it is, because that thing was trash. It was roasted.
It was nasty for sure.
Let's go ahead and try it. Lydia, can you turn the key on?
Oh yeah. Golden.
Well, it's amazing with these old trucks and cars and things like that, especially of this era. You know, there was a lot of people that had basic knowledge of these type of things, so whenever they had a problem, they kind of knew in the general direction of what to do to go troubleshoot. Is taking a closer look at this ignition control module, because we've seen a lot of the wires like to the coil that had little pin marks in them from somebody using a light tester to see if they were getting power to the coil. A couple more things around here. So with their troubleshooting, they were going in the right direction. The only thing that they might have overlooked was this ignition control module that was toasted. Now we have spark. In all reality, this thing should start spitting and sputtering here shortly. We don't have a carburetor on it yet, but I think we're just gonna, you know, give it a little of that special sauce in the old throat, hit the button, and see if it'll at least make a noise. Now, before we get started, the only thing that we're after here is just to get some noise. We're not gonna try to make this thing run. We don't even have a carburetor on it yet. Now, we're missing a spark plug wire because I literally pulled it in two trying to get it off there. These are old wires, but we do have new parts to replace these with. I'm just really not patient, and I really want to hear this thing do something. And then when we do something, we're going to worry about getting the carburetor on, getting the wires replaced, the distributor cap, getting all that freshened up. That way it'll run longer than 2 seconds.
You ready?
Are you ready?
I am.
All right, I'm going to give it a little bit, and I'll tell you.
Okay.
All right, hit it. Hit it again. Keep on. All right, come on. Come on. Come on. Hit it again. Flooded it. Now we got a little juice. Where the juice is loose, I'm gonna get some of that starting fluid. I mean, I can hear one of them cylinders want to gallop, but I think it's gonna be.
Yeah, I heard that.
I think it's gonna be okay. If it's a little low on compression, this will make it bark instead of that 2 strokes. All right, hit it, Mom.
Hit it?
Ready?
Hit it.
Hit it.
Let it cool off just a minute. I think we're gonna be.
Still a little flooded, ain't it?
Yeah. Well, we got it to hit and got it to puff a little smoke, so it sounded like she's gonna be a runner. How good? We don't know. But what we do know is we just cleaned up all of the original junk that was on there, the distributor cap, and it was in bad shape. The rotor button, and we just wanted to do that to see if we could get any spark produced, and we proved that we can do that. So we're gonna go ahead and put a new set of wires on it. We're gonna put a distributor cap, button, and that's what's gonna live on here. Then the next thing will be moving on to getting the carburetor put on, all those kind of things to make it where it'll actually start and stay running.
Now, whenever we got the truck here, I remember from the video that got deleted, it was missing.
It's missing the alternator, so when it does run, it's not gonna charge. We're gonna have to cross that bridge. That's not a big deal. We can pretty much get that off the shelf, get this carburetor thing figured out. And the valve covers. My goodness, the valve covers. They had 2 valve cover gaskets, 12 pounds of Permatex on there, and it took us forever to get all that baked on stuff cleaned off. So I imagine they had a massive oil leak. But we got new valve cover gaskets, so everything will be nice and sanitary whenever it goes back together. Shouldn't leak from the top anyway.
Oh, and you forgot to mention what was stuffed in the holes.
Oh, tube socks. I mean, you can't go wrong with tube socks stuffed in the intake. You know what I mean? Now, here's a good thing to mention. Whenever we were setting the lash on each one of these cylinders, you have an intake and exhaust valve. So the piston has to be all the way to the top, and it has to be in the compression stroke for both valves to be closed all the way. And that's how you set the lash. Well, the way we did that is we got the number one cylinder set on go. We got it set on top dead center. We checked it on the harmonic balancer. We found where it was on the distributor, and we marked it. But if you'll see on the side of this, every one of these little lines, there's a little black dot that we put on this distributor everywhere that a spark plug wire pickup was at. What that allowed us to do was just turn the motor until the rotor got lined up with the dot, and we knew exactly which cylinder to adjust.
Why don't they make them all the same length?
Because if most Ford motors, the distributor's on the front of the motor, most Chevrolets are on the back of the motor. Not in all cases, but generally speaking. So where the distributor is at the closest to each end of the motor, just say it's closest to the front, this is a Ford, the spark plug wire needs to be short or you got all this slack hanging. So the farther you get to the back of the motor, the longer the wires get, and takes care of the slack.
Unfortunately, y'all missed my 5th grade project that had our firing order on it. Great rod display, and it was a beaut. But our firing order goes 15436.
5423. I don't know.
1542638.
Okay.
Sounds about right to me. So what was the next one? For real?
1542.
That's over here. A short one for over here.
Okay. Let's see if this one will work for that. Okay, that went on good. Well, if y'all watched any of the Lois episodes that we put out there, you'll know that this is the carburetor that came off of her. So the only studs that we have that can screw into that intake are about, 8 miles too long. So we're trying to figure out exactly how far we need to trim these off so that they don't cause us any problems. And I think that these front two is probably the only ones that's really going to be significant. But we can get by with just trying them. It looks like we might have enough room to clear it, because I'd really rather not cut these off in case we need to put a spacer block or something in there, because we cut them off, they're done. I'm gonna put a little lubrication in them holes, but I'm gonna sure that them threads is gonna be a little tight. So I'm gonna go ahead and double nut these. That way we won't have too many issues screwing these down into that intake. A lot of times I would just get on this smooth part of this stud with some channel locks and crank down on it, but it always burrs these up, messes the threads up. So trying to take my time and do it right, because this is my buddy's truck. Now, she might be a little rough, but I don't want to be doing some janky stuff. I want to do him right. I just want to get it on here, see if we can get the motor to run, make sure we got oil pressure, everything looks good as far as that goes. We'll probably end up going to put a spacer in here, change some of this linkage, because some of this linkage is, we'll just call it less than desirable. At least they got it bent to the proper distance, you know what I mean? I wonder what that came off of. Maybe that's one of those things where the carburetor, like a bus, the motor's in the back of the vehicle, and that reaches. All right. There we go. Got her lined up?
Almost.
Heck yeah. Oh yeah, look at that.
Look at there, like a glove.
I like a glove. This is going to be an issue trying to set that.
It sure is.
Maybe that won't.
We should have done that a minute ago.
Probably should have. Well, we just thought we was going to be able to leave those studs like they were. They're going to end up hitting this carburetor, and we was fearful of that, but we were thinking we could get by without it. So what we're going to do is just put the washers and nuts on the studs and run them down to wherever we can get to, then trim that stud off wherever we can get by, leaving it as long as we can, and then tightening the nuts the rest of the way up.
It always concerns me whenever you say,
Well, this old carburetor, just about everything on it's out of adjustment, but it's going to do good for, you know, enough to get it started where we can see if it runs and has a horrific bearing knock or any of that kind of stuff.
Oh, I guess we should put a battery in it, huh? We are so silly.
ready? So here's the bench seat that came out of the truck. As you can see, it definitely needs some TLC. We've got some foam that's showing on this side. We've got a lot of rips and tears through here, a lot of wear and tear over these past that many years. But overall, these are in better condition than the Thunderbird seats were. Now, are they in great condition? No, not at all. But I do think I can still make these work.
baby. And we don't care much about tomorrow, and it's okay. Oh baby, don't you know that it's over? You know we're gonna make it out alive. Baby, don't you know that it's over? Oh baby, watching the sun go down. We have known each other for a long, long time. Baby, don't you know that it's over? You know we're gonna make it out alive. Baby, don't you know that it's over? Oh baby. Baby, don't you know that it's over? Oh, baby.
Well, yesterday we were able to get old Barefoot to snorting and wheezing and making some noises anyway. But we left the valve covers off. We just wanted to make sure that we were getting lubrication up to the top of those cylinder heads, because when we took all the rods out and we took the rocker arms off, we found a lot of those ports stopped up. We had to clean those out, blow them out. So we wanted to make sure that we were getting, good oil flow. I didn't even know if the oil pump was going to work in this thing. Now that we verified that it's looking like she's going to be a runner, and we got lubrication up there to the top of the cylinder heads, we're going to put the valve covers on. We got those all cleaned up, new valve cover gaskets without all the Permatex. So it should be in pretty good shape when we get all that together. See if we can get some water in it. We don't have an operating fan. I don't know how exactly long that's going to take for the temperature to get up, but it's a cool day. We should be able to play with her for a little bit. Look at me go.
Got her hooked up.
Yeah. Got the throttle linkage put on. Got the valve covers put on.
No Permatex.
No Permatex. Not that Permatex is a bad thing, I'd just rather not use it if I don't need it.
Well, when you use Permatex to put boxes back together,
Yeah, that might be a little issue. You know what I mean? Hey, I really like your house. What'd you build it with? Permatex.
what do you call that color? Permatex orange.
That's right. Goes fast. I used to only get 10 miles to the gallon this old truck before Permatex, but now that I got Permatex, I get 12.5. I was looking for a plethora of vacuum leak opportunities, but I'm really not seeing a bunch here. I mean, we got the two that was open on that carburetor. We got them sealed off, but as far as the block and the brake system and all that stuff, I'm not seeing it. These valve covers would have probably looked a little bit better with some paint on them,
Should have painted them orange.
Well,
Make the old truck feel at home.
that's right. There may not be any paint on them, but at least it don't have caked on oil from the yesteryear.
Oil and grime.
Yeah, at least it's clean, sanitary. I don't know. I started to paint them, but kind of gets back into that thing to where this ain't our unit.
That's
this
right.
is somebody else's. So I hate to go painting and doing a whole lot of stuff like that. Not that he would care. He probably wouldn't care about any of that kind of stuff. I don't want to paint them back forward blue, and he'd be like, well, I really wanted them black. This way, he'll have the opportunity to paint him whatever color he wants.
A little lipstick on the pig.
That's right. At least he's going to have a fully functioning pig. You know what I mean? Don't think he's going to be mad at us about that.
Nah.
That's something we might have to watch right there. I don't know if that goes all the way through that intake or not, but there's a missing bolt right there. It don't look like it's an attachment bolt. It looks like it might be I don't know what that is.
It was what this tie wire was tied to on the other end.
Yeah. That's what happens when your tie wire comes loose. Your bolts fall out. So what you want to bet? There's a large amount of Permatex underneath this. Well, I got it loose. I wonder, I think I got it loose, question mark. I'm not real sure, but I just wonder how much water is going to be in here. Oh, I see water. Look at the water coming out. Lord have mercy. Golly. This is just a different deal altogether. I'm not sure what's going on. I don't know that I've ever changed the oil in anything and it didn't have an actual plug. I don't know what we got going on here. It's almost like it just won't come out all the way. You know, we haven't got to any oil yet. It's still water. But this plug's what's got me tripped up. It won't come all the way out. It's like it's just designed to be loose to drain around the plug. See? Look, you can just sit there and spin it. Nothing happens. I'm not sure that I'm a fan of that. I don't know. And the water's still coming.
That is a lot of water.
That is a lot of water. That's really clear water. It looks like rainwater. That looks like rainwater from 1987 rainwater right there. Look at that. I bet that was non-filtered.
Does it count if it goes through the old filter?
Oh, I guess it could be filtered. I guarantee you it hadn't went through the oil filter. Unless a little bit did yesterday. We just barked it off there for a minute. But yeah, but we still hadn't got to any oil. So, well, if you was ever wondering if you could start the truck up and run it for a few seconds on pure water in the oil in the crankcase, then the answer is yeah. I bet this truck's going to be like, oh my God, thank God somebody put some Rotella in me. I've been craving some 1540 and all I had was spring water.
Oh.
Look at there.
Okay.
That looks like some straight grease. Now how is all that going to get out of there? That's going to be a minute.
Ooh, he has some nasty stuff, huh?
What? I mean, it looks like pure grease. Look at it. You know what? I didn't understand it because I seen a couple of oil spots under this truck. I said, well, maybe that's a seal leaking. Well, I mean, if it would have been a seal leaking, it'd been water spots, not oil spots. I don't know where that was coming from. So we got a couple things here. We've got an oil plug that apparently is working kind of like a petcock. You just loosen it and it allows the oil to get out of there. The problem is that what oil's in there, if any, is thick and sludgy and won't come out. Probably going to end up having to pour some gas or something through it, let it run down through there to cut that oil and thin it down to get it to be able to come out in this pan, because that's not going to cut it, because that water mixed with it and it kind of makes it want to turn into pudding. So I think that'll be the next thing. We'll just pour some gas in there, let it run all the way through, wash some of that stuff out. I really wish we had some diesel, but I don't think I have any diesel on hand. Oh well, gas is just going to have to do it.
It's like soft serve.
Well, the oil plug is open. I mean, kind of, as much as we can get it open. And we dumped a gallon of gas in, and we got 12 drops out. So that is not a good sign. Do you see what I mean, though? It won't loosen up. It's like I have no idea what's going on there. I surely don't want to have to pull the whole oil pan off, just try to figure out what's going on in there. What I really want to do is get it to where the rest of that stuff will come out of there. We can seal it back off, put some fresh oil in it, let it run, get hot, and then drain that oil out of it, and then we know we had good circulation and got all that out of there. But it's not looking like it's going to happen that way.
I don't think it is.
Okay, so here's the update. The update is it's got some kind of a weird oil plug in there, like a petcock type deal, and I can't get it all the way out. And the motor has watery, sludgy oil in the bottom of it. The next thing we did was pour about a gallon of gas in there to see if it would cut some of that sludge and run past the little petcock oil plug. That was an epic fail also. All we were able to do is gain a gallon of gas inside of the oil pan. So what we're going to try to do is take this rag and the air hose and try to introduce some crankcase pressure, so maybe we can build enough pressure to get that motivated to start blowing through that petcock. Now, if that works, I don't know. Never done this before. Be a first time. Just a harebrained idea. Here we go. Oh yeah. There it goes.
Yep.
Missing the pan.
Oh, hang on. I'll get it.
All right, we got some of it to come out.
Yeah.
Here we go again. Oh yeah. All kinds of groceries coming out down there. Oh, I see some little foamy water separation stuff coming up there. So it looks like some of our gas is finally cutting through.
Just so everybody's aware. You know it's not coming out of the oil hole, right?
What? Are you serious?
I mean, dead serious. It's not coming out of that.
Where's it coming out at?
Further back?
Are you kidding me?
I swear. Here, let me do the little air thing and you can.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, my Lord. Okay. Oh, well, that is a deal. That is a whole deal. Well, kind of like the gift that keeps on giving. You know what I mean? I don't know. I guess maybe that's like the,
Wow.
Well, okay. So it's got to be coming out of the rear seal. Yeah. Yeah, there's that. Let's see.
I just can't imagine what's going on there.
Yeah, but do you see what I'm talking about? This weird. It's almost like, I don't know. You can't. It's almost like it's got a nut on the inside of it that holds it. It's just spinning. Matter of fact, I know it is. There's something like that in there, but it just will not let you unthread it. I mean,
That is so weird.
and it's all so thick and sludgy that it can't. It needs a hole. If we had an oil plug, we wouldn't even be having this issue. I mean, other than this wacky rear seal thing we got going on, we just
Gaping hole back here.
yeah, we just have to figure out whatever's going on there. But I mean, look at this thing. I kind of want to get a screwdriver and pry on it a little bit, but it's kind of not mine. You know what I mean? So, you know, there's very few times in my little life that I'm just kind of lost for words.
Here we are.
This is kind of one of those times. Like, kind of where do you go from here, you know? Because I really don't want to pull that oil pan, but everything that I'm seeing is kind of telling me that I'm not going to have a choice.
Yeah, look at it speeding up now.
Yeah. That's definitely something. Oh well, at least it's draining. We might be here, 3 weeks and 7 days, but at least it's going.
Monday of next week for it finishes.
We can get all this crap out of there, get some fresh oil in it, let it heat up. If it'll just run long enough to heat up, then we can drain this oil out,
Yeah.
put some more oil in, then we'll be sitting on go. But it's just getting to that point. We can't hardly start it up with the milkshake in there with a gallon of gas on top of that. We kind of hands are kind of tied.
What a deal.
You know what I wonder? If some Permadex would have fixed it.